Alexander Local Schools is a small-town school located in Albany, Ohio that takes pride in providing kids and their community with enriching education and experience. For example, the Alexander All-Inclusive Playground, which you can donate and find more details at alexanderallinclusiveplayground.org. In an effort to provide more opportunities like the playground for their students, Alexander Local Schools proposed an earned income tax levy to be placed on the ballot in 2019, which passed by one vote after being put on the ballot 5 times prior.
So I really remember that day well because it was such a great day here at Alexander. I get the text, I run to all of the English classrooms, tell them we passed. I mean, that's all I did. I was like, it passed. So then I ran down to our former biology teacher who had also worked on the levy and screamed, it passed. The biology teacher took her classes all through the hallways and kind of picked up people as they went. They were screaming and yelling. It was pure joy in the hallway. We were crying. All the kids seemed really happy. All the teachers were thrilled. It was truly one of the best days at Alexander High School.
For the 4 years following, K-12 students at Alexander finally had more opportunities than they'd had in years. Alexander was also able to finish the new track. Most of the funding for the project came from ESSER funds, which was COVID relief money, but we still need some of our own to complete it.
I like the track because we can do a full practice and don't have to take turns using lanes, and because we can host the TVC meet this year.
The levy allowed us to offer a wide range of classes with smaller class sizes. This means closer connections between teachers and students. Personally, I found my passion for science in one of the classes the levy provides. And, thanks to the smaller class sizes, I was able to ask questions and really connect with my teacher. It was also offered during multiple periods, so I could fit it into my schedule. But now, students don't have that same flexibility. We have already had to shrink our science department from 4 teachers to 3, and that is just the start of the limited future of the school. In March of 2024, a renewal levy of the 1.5% income tax was placed on the ballot. Unfortunately, the vote was 1,404 against and 1,189 for the levy. The result was saddening for many organizations that were threatened of being cut, one being FFA.
Through FFA, I've been able to gain over 100 hours of community service. I've been able to connect with the community. FFA has helped me gain leadership and communication skills. And this year, I actually got my state degree, which has helped me further my education in FFA. Overall, FFA is really important to me, and I'm glad I've been able to have these experiences and opportunities over the past 4 years.
So many other threatened programs were highlighted through the Say Yes to Alexander Facebook page. However, this was still not enough to veer voters. It is so hard to see how other schools like Athens and Meigs get around $1.5 million from the state, while Alexander only gets around $13,000. Students shouldn't have to face the uncertainty of whether we'll have the classes or extracurriculars we need. We shouldn't have to wonder if we can pursue our passions or if we'll be deprived of opportunities that shape our futures. You may ask, why exactly are students being put into this position? This question could first be answered by the people of the Alexander district that voted no. One voter, Barry Bobo, explained on the Facebook page Saying No to Alexander that the problem with the school is simple. If you have more money, you spend more money, and a lot of voters agree with this. Voters also used the ARC, or Alexander Recreation Center, as another reason to show that the school has wasted their money. The ARC, however, has been very beneficial to students and even the community. I myself was a cheerleader for 4 years at Alexander. The ARC has been able to give us a space to stunt, tumble, work out, and overall just practice. Before the ARC was built, the cheerleaders had to practice in the hallways after school. The Alexander Biddy League also has a space to practice in the evenings. The ARC also provides students with an indoor track, batting spaces, and many different places to work out. In the bigger picture, why does the community have to vote for an underfunded school? Well, Ohio State's funding has not had the best reputation. Back in 1997, Ohio State's funding was deemed unconstitutional, in which it relied too heavily on local funds. Since then, Ohio has tried to take an effort to change it. The 2021 Cup-Patterson School Funding Plan allowed around $2 billion a year to go to K-12 schools. However, this was deemed undoable, and the state is trying to make more cuts. The governor has proposed House Bill 96, which creates a $103 million decrease in public school formula funding. According to OhioHouse.gov, the governor's budget proposal would cut the state's share to just 32%, creating a funding disparity that is even worse than what was deemed unconstitutional and unfair to property taxpayers more than 2 decades ago. So, in retrospect, public schools funding is growing because of both inflation and a rising number of student attendance. Yet, the funding is drastically decreasing from state and local levels. Who knows in the upcoming years what our school will have to cut next? Our levy gave us an extra $2.2 million, and we have to make up for that money somehow. Every day I come into school, I hear of so many important positions that are rumored of being cut. The future of Alexander and its students are at risk. Again, Alexander takes pride in their efforts to make school as fulfilling as possible. However, Alexander needs funds to make this possible. The inclusive playground, for example, reveals that when there are not adequate funds in the school accounts, parents have to reach out privately to the community and raise money for necessary upgrades, like accessibility on the most used area at the school. We cannot have constant campaigns like this for every major need of the school. A reliable stream of income from levies and higher funding formulas from the state creates much more stable outcomes, says Anna Corby, organizer of the All-Inclusive Playground. So, the question remains, why isn't the support there when the kids need it the most?